You just make a YouTube video and you just put Leon Hart's face and you make him look sad and you fucking farm 50,000 views. Stop letting your kid do trade up challenges. The audacity to think it's okay for a trade that benefits you and not the other person is so selfish and rude. It's not really the kid's fault, but the lack of discipline from the parents bothers me. Just give them a free $1 card and tell them to add it to their trade lot. When I was a young child, we knew better about trading our cards. It used to be about the cards. Now it seems to be about clout and market value. Hot take, but not really. If you have to announce you are doing a trade up challenge, you are not doing a trade up challenge. You are just begging for free stuff. That's a good little note to add for this weekend's trade up challenge, which I will be doing at Collect Fest. Not even a hot take, just facts. Additionally, the moment you announce that you're doing a trade up challenge, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Now your trade partner knows you're trying to take advantage of them. Dude, trade up challenges are fucking awesome, dude. You know what I love about trade up challenges? That it took this long for people to realize what the fuck was happening. Like, for 3 years, you could do this and like nobody was like, this is fine. Like, huh, dude, that's so cool that you traded up from like a button to a fucking Porsche. That's hilarious. For 3 years, people have been fucking doing this thing. For 3 goddamn fucking years. And then the second somebody does it with Pokemon cards, it's like, wait a second. They're taking advantage of them. That's an unequal trade. What, this whole time? They were trading with their own self-interest in mind, not the other person's. What?
Lucio, my little pickle, kombucha.
I had no idea.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Like, why was it fine for 3 years with like creators like Ryan Trahan? There's a guy that does it on TikTok. It's like his whole fucking thing. It's like his whole fucking career is trade up challenges. What's he gonna do now? He's gonna go get a fucking another job. The only issue I see with this Reddit post is that nobody is referring kids to Pokemon Leagues, but lets them deal with vendors. So many people give cards to kids. It happens all the time, even with this trade up challenge bits. People being nice to each other must really suck. I think there's nothing wrong with a trade up challenge. I think getting upset about them now is just ridiculous. I think that people getting upset with them now is just people like deciding that this is the thing that they want to be fucking mad about this month. That's what I think about trade up challenges, because for 3 years, nobody fucking cared about this. Nobody cared. So like, you can't tell me that for years, this kind of behavior was like normalized and accepted and people actually enjoyed it, because there's millions and millions of videos across YouTube where people have done this kind of thing before. But now all of a sudden it's bad. Like, that's not, it was bad from the start and we should have said something earlier. This month we've decided that we want to be upset about trade up challenges. Didn't someone trade a paperclip into a house? Yeah, people have been doing this for ages. What about the Leon Hart incident? Again, people have been doing this for ages. Why all of a sudden are we just saying the Leon Hart one is a bad one and we need to fucking like crucify him and make this huge example out of him? You know why? Because he's an easy fucking target. Leon Hart is a mark. He's the easiest target in the entire Pokemon card space. You know why? He never fights back. He never even says anything. So everybody goes after him constantly because it's so fucking easy. You just make a YouTube video and you just put Leon Hart's face and you make him look sad and you fucking farm 50,000 views because it's so easy, because he never fights back. I actually give him credit for that because he just fucking brute forces insane amounts of hate. Am I saying he's perfect? No. Does he make mistakes? Yes. I've spoken about that before. But it's like, what about the Leon Hart one? It's like, what fucking, bro, people have been doing way worse shit for much, much longer than Leon Hart. It's just that Leon Hart is the easy mark. He will never fight back. I'm so fucking for trade up challenges. You know why? Because most adults can just be like, you know what? I don't want to trade. I'm good. It's not like I'm doing a trade up challenge. Now there is a fucking gun pointing at your head. I also have the coordinates of your house. I know where your family are all currently located. I know what time you leave for work. I know what train you catch. I know what you eat for lunch. I know your favorite cafe. If you do not trade in my favor, I will end your entire existence. That doesn't happen. You can just say, no, I don't want to do it. And it's fucking fine. Nobody has to do anything. Have I watched the Leon Hart vid they were talking about? I've watched it. Yeah, I've literally watched I've watched the Leon Hart vid and I've watched every other commentary vid about it. And I think it's really easy to dissect and like dismantle somebody in isolation. It's probably one of the easiest things to do. It's like, I make a video, there's something in it that people don't like, I get dissected and dismantled. I think it's really easy to do that. It's much harder for the people that are criticizing the person to look at the full fucking like history of what that person has done. Now, when you do that with Leonhart, it gets kind of messy because there's been a lot of instances where he's done fucking frankly stupid shit. But that's because I just think he's fucking stupid, right? I think he just doesn't know. That's not meant to be an insult. I just think when I say like you're being stupid, like I think he just doesn't know what he's doing. Like I was saying in the previous streams, he doesn't spend enough time online. Like he just goes on YouTube, he hits upload, and then that's it. Like he leaves it, right? He doesn't really have people telling him in a way that doesn't feel like an attack. I don't feel like there's anybody that's pulling him up and saying, hey, maybe in the next video, you should probably just give the card away at the end, and then like, it'll be a bit more wholesome. I genuinely don't think there's somebody there telling him to do that. Should he know that automatically? Yeah, he probably should. But I think he doesn't have somebody behind him telling him that. What he does have though, is a lot of people telling him that he should fucking die and that he's a POS and that he's a terrible human being because he didn't give the card away. And I think when people are communicating like when people are criticizing you in that way, then you're less likely to listen and actually take it on board as genuine feedback, or maybe like as a good idea, as something that you should do, because it just feels like pure hatred and negativity and an attack. And I feel like the brain automatically goes into defense mode and won't even like entertain those ideas, and we'll just like shut it down and say, I'm ignoring and not listening to any of this. And I think that's why after these things happen, usually his response is to just give something away on Twitter, which he does pretty often, right? And that makes it look even worse because it's just like, well, he didn't respond to any of the criticism and then he just gave something away on Twitter. He's just trying to fix it with a giveaway. He's trying to fix it the only way that he really knows how, which is by placating the masses, the hate and all the fucking negative energy that's coming his way. He's like, all right, fine, I'll do a giveaway. Like he doesn't have somebody there like as an advisor, and he really should with the channel as big as he does. So I guess that's the biggest issue. That's the recurring issue with Leonhart and like all this shit that happens with his trade up challenges. I've seen the other videos when then the people that he said he was going to send stuff to, like the card got lost and he was like, oh, the card got lost. So then he sent them some other card, but it wasn't the original card that he sent. And I'm just like, when I watch that, I'm just like, look, like fucking beggars can't be choosers at some point. You just got to fucking take the card and be like, cool, I got the free card. Like he didn't actually have to do anything. Like he kind of like, he tried to right the wrong. Something must have happened along the way. Was it perfect? No. Hey, never meet your heroes. This is like a general rule that applies everywhere. You know, I've seen a lot of it. And like I said, I think the situation could be fixed if people were just less vitriolic. In my experience, vitriol just never fixes the situation. It's a great outlet and it feels good in the moment and people get around it and they like seeing the attack and the negativity. But if you genuinely had an interest in fixing the situation, a lot of it could be just resolved offline. And it should be, you know, a private message, a DM, try and get the person's attention, resolve it that way. Way easier. And you probably, not way easier, but you will probably fucking resolve the situation. Less theatrics, less people calling the crossfire. Drama is a great word to throw around, like drama content, but like the dramatization doesn't actually help anything. It's like it's like dopamine. It's just, it makes people feel good in the short term, watching from the sides. But hey, everyone's perfect when they're just watching somebody else fuck up. So trade up challenges, like I said, I actually don't have a problem with them because at the end of the day, you don't have to participate in them if you're asked. You just don't do it. And I just find it really funny that they were fucking super cool and fun for a very long time and now all of a sudden they aren't. Because there's no rules. It's all vibe based. I get slightly nervous because like, my life's good right now. Everything's like kind of moving like pretty smoothly. I feel like I'm in a really good spot with content creation and stuff. Like it feels like the energies are correct. Like everything's right. It feels good. Everything's humming, right? And every time I talk about this stuff, I'm like, I just know somebody's going to fucking, it's just a matter of time. There's somebody who's going to like pull something I say in isolation and be like, he's defending Leon Hart. He likes what Leon Hart did. He loves Leon Hart. And I'm going to get this fucking bullshit again. And so I just want to say and put this on the record that if you do decide to do that, right? Just you fucking make sure you put every snippet of what I've said together because it's really easy to, in isolation, take little bits and pieces of what I've said and paint a certain narrative. Anybody can do that. I can do that as well. Anybody can fucking do that. So don't do that. It's much more complex. It's deeper than that. It's like, where do you draw the line on like what is and isn't okay with like how people engage in Pokemon cards, like mystery packs. Every mystery pack is a fucking ripper, right? They're not good value for money, right? They're a bad value proposition to the buyer because they're a fucking gamble. They're a real life physical loot box. You just get something physical out of it. But more often than not, the odds are stacked against you. They're going to be a fucking bad time. The mystery pack or box, right? It favors the seller. They're worse. They're way worse. I'm not saying this isn't whataboutism, right? What I'm saying is it's like, we are going to decide that we fucking don't like mystery packs this month. We are going to decide that we don't like trade-up challenges this month. It's like, you got to fucking be consistent, right? In this, if you're going to do like the full like criticism, hate train shit, like non-stop 24/7, you got to be fucking consistent, and you got to be calling out the same people the same fucking time every single fucking time. You got to be going just as hard. Like, where do you draw the line in this space? You can't. That's the whole problem with it, right? Every party in this space can grandstand from some POV and be like, what I do is fine, what they do isn't. I mean, the whole thing with making content is like, there's going to be like a reason behind why you do it. Like, why do I stream? I like seeing your names pop up and having these fucking arguments and conversations and shit and just laughing. Imagine these people working at the same company or group. There would be hellfire. You know what's actually fucking hilarious? Is that I actually had that exact conversation with another creator once before. I presented that idea to them. I was like, you know, imagine you're working in a company and your coworker does something that you don't like, and like this is how you approach it. Like, how do you think it would genuinely go down in a real life office setting? You know, outside of this online, everyone's behind the screen kind of setup. And I fucking kid you not, the response that I got was like, I don't really get it. I don't get the difference. And that's when I knew that I was fucking cooked, man. And that like we're mostly fucking cooked, because I think that's where a lot of the problems stem from. You're getting a lot of people that their first foray into like the real world outside of a school or like university or college setting is online. And as much as I don't like corporatism and corpo, I think there are good values that you learn from those settings, like working in like an office setting or being employed. Like, I think you learn about cause and effect very, very quickly, beyond just like fucking the consequences of putting your hand on a hot kettle or something and burning your hand, right? You learn about the deeper consequences of what you say, what you do, how you act, how you present. Because if you fuck up in that kind of setting, you don't get your paycheck, and that has like runoff consequences. Like, you can't buy groceries for the week, you can't pay for rent, or you can't pay off your mortgage, you can't pay off your car, whatever, right? And so people learn how to act in like a real world, like professional setting by being employed. Now, for me, I think like the best thing you can do is get a taste of that, and then after 5 or 10 years, sort of like carve your own direction and like go down your own path, rather than just stay like in the machine forever, because I've got, you know, I've fucking very deep hatred and criticisms for corporatism, right? But the benefit, like, you get so much out of just being in that setting because you know how to fucking act. You know how to criticize that. Like, you learn the language of criticism, or like constructive criticism, or like feedback, and like how to just fucking bite certain things and stomach stuff, and when to speak up and when not to. And so I think a lot of people that do this kind of stuff online don't come from that background, and so they come in and they're just fucking around. Like, they're treating it like it's high school. And that is why, like, people refer to like drama YouTube and like all that kind of stuff as like they say it's like high school drama. Like, this is like high school shit. Like, it's like high school groups, because like that's where they're literally going from high school to uni or college to this. They're not leaving those fucking environments, and that's all they still know. It's like when you send a child to daycare so they can learn how to socialize. That's fucking brutal. It's true. A job makes you also hate taxes. Does it ever? Fucking taxes, bro.